Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, just before we get into it, in the description, obviously, there's a code list that I have. There was a brand new code for, I believe it's global players, because there was a bit of compensation for SEA and CM players, as you guys can see. I think, actually, I'm pretty sure the code that is given to global players is kind of doo-doo. I'm pretty confident, so, I assume that there'll be another code inbound, unless Global did also get this reward. I don't. Oh, hopefully they did. Fingers crossed. I don't know. Either way, there's a new code. It's nothing too crazy. I think it's like 5k gold and then weapon leveling up material. That's pretty much it, unfortunately. But again, if Global didn't get the compensation here, then maybe in the future code there could be for Global in order to get the plus 100. But anyway, just kind of wanted to get that out of the way. Now, as you guys know, I did a video. I think it was like last week or so, talking about the game itself in terms of what is farmable. You know, how free-to-play friendly is this game, right? We're getting 2 characters on a monthly basis every 2 weeks, right? We are well on our way to now again, because this guy is available only for 10 days now, which is crazy, right? Damn, wait, 10 days? That's crazy. Wait, what? Okay, sorry, my brain is cooked right now. Okay, yeah, damn, 10 days. Okay, so, yeah, time is going quick. So, in no time, Thrust is going to be in the equation. And that will then release the new DPS for Thrust, as well as a beautiful SR character coming into the game supporting the Thrust team. Now, with all of that, we've already kind of looked into the amount that you can generate in the game alone in terms of currency. Right, so again, this is more so free-to-play players. Again, those are low spenders. Again, this is going to be huge, and this is going to be very, very beneficial for you guys. Now, as long as you put the work in, as long as you're playing the game, the jades will come. It's as simple as that, right? You got to play the game, and the jades will come. Now, just a brief little update in terms of the calculation on how we're looking at things. So, we know that from a dailies. And again, the way I'm going to calculate it is giving it from a monthly basis. So in a month span, if you're doing your dailies every single day, then in total, within a month, it will generate 1,680 jades. And that's from the dailies if you do it in a month period. So that's a multi right there. That's a multi right there, guaranteed at the end of the month, of course. And then going forward, because again, for the most part, we're looking at game modes that are reoccurring, right? Not game modes that are just kind of like a one and done, because obviously once you do those modes, you get those jades and they're pretty much done. You spend them. Unfortunately, we can't refarm them from story, etc. So in terms of reoccurring modes that we have, this is one of them. Now, this one will determine on where you place within the leaderboard. Obviously, when I did my calculations, I was doing it within the top 20%, and so with the top 20%, in a month span, you will get 1,140. Obviously, this mode, keep in mind, is doable 3 times a week, right? If I can remember correctly, yes. Even if you get to the 50% mark, again, that's not too bad of a drop-off. So, you know, I'm just averaging it through the 20%, but again, if you're hitting the 80, if you're hitting the 50, again, it's not bad. You're still getting a good amount given to you on a monthly basis. So, right there, we're closing in on that second multi. And then the final event that we can farm on a weekly basis is obviously this event through scoring minimum 50k right there, of course. But from this, again, we can gather 1,080, right, from this mode. If I can remember correctly, yeah, I think it's 1,080. So basically, the total amount on where the game is giving us jades through the current modes that I've just gone over, you're looking around about 3,900 jades, which is what, just slightly under 2.5 multis, which isn't bad. Now, the one thing which we were kind of waiting on was characters, right? When an event releases, when a new character drops, obviously there's going to be an event. Now we know what we're working with in terms of Hitsugai's release. What are the developers providing us in terms of free currency? And to be fair, if we look at it as a whole now, on a monthly basis, it is looking pretty generous, to the point where you are essentially guaranteed a character. I mean, unfortunately, you're gonna have to skip or so to build it up, but it's there. Unless RNG is in your favor and you get lucky and you pull the character early on, then you're ready to rock and roll for the next character, right? Because I mean, you should be able to save up the currency and have more than enough. That's if you manage to pull the character, I think, within less than 3 multis, let's say that. Now, 3900 is what the game is providing us, end game status, of course. I'm excluding events and whatnot. I'll bring that in a second, of course. But the thing that we walked away, and again, we've already calculated what Hitsugaya is providing us, and again, this is a continuation for future characters. But pretty much, with a character releasing, you're looking around about 30 pulls. 30 pulls. So, with a month span of grinding the game mode out, and then grinding out a singular character event, that's 50 pulls. Well, we'll say 55, right? 55, maybe a little bit more, but that's 55 right there. Now you got to keep in mind, in a month span, right? Every 2 weeks, there's always a character releasing, so that's another event dropping. So that's another 30 coming our way. So now we're looking around about 8.5. But we can technically speaking, we can actually push it to 90 pulls now. And then on top of all of that, with the end game content that is reoccurring for the game that we can farm, with the 2 character events releasing 2 weeks apart, so in a month period, that's how we're going to calculate it. There's always going to be a few modes being thrown into the mix, right? There's always going to be some login bonus, new chapters releasing, events releasing. You know, there's always going to be few other things in the mix in terms of everything that we just looked into. And so technically speaking, just to put it roughly like this, we're looking around about, on a monthly basis, 80 to 100 pulls guaranteed. 80 to 100 pulls guaranteed. But again, as I say it as easily, it comes down to on whether or not if you put the time into it. It's as simple as that. To those that are, even if you're playing on a casual basis, as long as you put the grind in, that is the amount on what we're able to accumulate from this game. So as much as I want to say, hey, you guys can skip, I mean, because again, people are skipping Toshiro, people are skipping Gin, because with them announcing Aizen, all eyes are on that man, and I do not blame you. So realistically, with the game releasing now, people skipping Toshiro, which is fair play, you know, do as you please. You know, I've already said my piece about how amazing that man is, you know. And then with Gin releasing, which I feel like a lot of people are going to probably dip out on purely because of where Thrust is at right now. If anything, Rangiku's going to be like the eye candy, but she's going to be given out for free. So technically speaking, I truly do believe a lot of people are going to be skipping out on Gin. I truly do believe that. So with those 2 character events, with everything that is farmable, because the game just came out technically, people are going to be overly prepared for Aizen. Let's be real. You're going to be overly prepared. Even if you do summon for Toshiro and you do get somewhat kind of lucky, then obviously, again, you should be in a decent pace, even with the Gin event releasing, and then using that. So unless you went all out for Ichigo and Toshiro and whatnot, then unfortunately you're going to have to pray for the orange you got. Obviously, right now there is a bit of a roadmap to kind of also give you that little helping hand to kind of calculate on what is farmable as of right now. But I think for the most part, these tickets are done. The Toshiro event is practically near the end. These are coming to the end, so I mean, yeah, they're all farmable now. They're all complete. So we're kind of just waiting on from the 12th. Is that it? Yeah, on the next 2 events, and then I'm hoping the roadmap does get updated because, yeah, like I said, in 10 days' time, in 10 days' time, Gin releases. But again, as I've mentioned, if you're head over heels for Aizen, and let's say you did get Toshiro, I would honestly, and I made a whole video about it to say that Gin is looking like a skippable character. Only because with where Thrust is at right now, they're a solid team. Rangoku will be given for free, so there's your support, done and dusted. Gin, don't get me wrong, will be a formidable DPS character for the Thrust team, but with where Thrust is at right now, I truly do believe that in terms of having to skip, having to choose, he'll be the man to skip. Aizen's going to be the cake.